Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Let me go set this room up real quick and then we can get started. So let's see, 6:18 right now. We got about 2 minutes till market, 12 minutes till market open. So we do have some time. I was just sneaking in a couple moves before the live session. So let's get this going right here. That looks good. This looks good. All right. All right, well, that sets up. I'm going to go send out the Zoom link to the rest of the members here. So I want to get the Zoom link sent out to you guys as well. All right, so looks like we're good right now. Let me let everybody into the room real quick. Be letting people in as I discuss. Good morning, everybody. Looks like everyone's making their way in. You got about 11 minutes till market open. So yeah, guys, I did take this trade right here. I took the sell. So basically when this closed below the low, I was using the K2 high-low strategy right there for a quick little profit. I only got a partial profit because I actually got in late because I didn't see it till it was already down here. So once it closed below here, I actually entered it for a quick move, and that's where I locked in. That's where I locked in the profit that I just posted right here. So I locked in about 460 off that trade. Nothing crazy, but it's still like half the profit I would have made if I got in at the actual entry point. Other than that, let me just finish setting this room up real quick, then we can be all ready to go. 6:20 right now. We got 10 minutes till market open. So I'm gonna let people join the room. There's only about 36 people in here right now. Once everyone makes it into the room, I will go ahead and start analyzing US 30 for everyone here. So let's see. Morning, Maria. Morning, Miles. Morning, everybody. Hopefully you guys had a great trading week so far. I don't think, actually I had one loss. I had one loss this week for the breakout, but I made it right back with the daily entry after that. So this whole week's been pretty profitable for me. I don't know how everyone else is doing. I also been trading off session too. So, that's kind of why, let me try to mute this right here. That's kind of why I've been making all these profits pre-market because I've been trading during Asia session forward testing the new strategy that, we've been talking about. Hey, morning, Matt. Morning, Joseph. Morning, Kenny. Morning, everybody. Looks like people are still making their way in. So 6:21, I'll give it about another minute and I'll start analyzing US 30 to confirm, what direction we might be trading in. So give it a few more minutes. All right, so let's just go take a look at the pre-market stuff first. So right now, retail sentiment's looking at 55% short. It's not very heavy on the short side, but it is short. So we'll see how that affects the market. Looking over here at the futures data is currently up 269 points. So it's very bullish right now. That goes hand in hand with the sentiment over here, right? So sentiment short, a lot of people are short, but price is actually going up right now. But it's currently now dropping. So it was up during London session. And then now it's, it's making its way all the way back down. So Miriam, I just saw that you joined the room. I know you had some questions. I did see your email. I didn't really get to look at it that deeply, but I did see your email about FTMO. So if you're on the session towards the end, Miriam, just, remind me about the FTMO requirements and I can go over them so that you can understand them a little better. So I'm not going to do it right now because the market's going to open in about 8 minutes, but at the end of the session, I can probably help you with that if you still have questions regarding, the requirements for FTMO, because I think it seemed like you're a little confused about it, which is okay. They are a little bit confusing. So let's see what we got over here. So market is still in pre-market right now for the next 8 minutes. Looking over at the news, I think there is news today as well. Tomorrow's NFP. So today we have, it's not really like super heavy news. We have natural gas storage at 7:30. Bank of Canada, is going to be speaking at 9. It's going to affect the market, not super heavily on US 30, but still going to affect the market. There might be some other stuff going on today too. I don't know if anyone's familiar with anything going on with regard to anyone speaking today. I don't think the Fed is speaking today, but let's see. All right, so CNBC just reported this. It said Dow futures jumped 300 points in relief rally as it appears Congress will avert to government default. So with that said, you guys have seen that when news like this happens or is released, this was actually us. Yeah, so it was updated 19 minutes ago. Usually when something like this is released, the market does the opposite, right? So about 19 minutes ago, we'll move this back right here, right? So about 19 minutes ago, price was going up. And as soon as they said the Dow is doing well, price came right back down. That's something to keep in mind. That's why usually if I see something reported, I usually don't like to trade for a while until after it's been, the market has reacted to it. But in a lot of instances, you kind of just go the opposite because that's usually what happens here. So what you just keep in mind that, whenever CNBC reports something, it's usually late news. The move has already happened and the opposite is usually going to follow. Morning, Adrian. Morning, Abraham. Morning, Christopher. Morning, Matt. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Riga. Kenny's asking, have you thought about doing a live session at night? Not really. I don't trade. I don't have a time period where I trade at night. I kind of just hop on the charts at random times during Asia session. If I see an entry, I'll take it, but I'm not sitting on there for like an hour like I am here. Because there's the volatility is kind of choppy during Asia session. You'll have like points in time where it's actually moving, and you have points in time where it's super flat. Like for example, here, let me go over here real quick. So looking at Asia session here, right? You'll be looking at the chart and it'll be flat for like an hour, 2 hours. It'll have a bullish move and it'll be flat forever. If I'm on the live session for Asia, I'd have to be on the session for hours and hours, and I'm not going to do that. It's different here for New York session because we can just sit on here for the first hour and a half, and then that's when all the volatility happens. But Asia session, there's not really a time period where it's really moving consistently. So that's probably why I wouldn't want to use it per se. AJ, morning. Welcome to K2. I know I just saw that you just joined in. Also Trey as well. So welcome Trey and Jay. I saw that you guys are brand new to K2. So welcome to the family. Hopefully you can lock in some profits with us today. But okay, looks like there's enough people in the room right now. So we'll start analyzing. So Surin said natural gas storage is a restricted event. Thanks for letting us know, Surin. So I'm not going to be trading news at what time's the news at? News is at 7. Okay, so we'll be looking for the breakout, but after the breakout, I might have to take a break between like 6:50 and 7:10 because we can't trade 2 minutes before or after the news. But we'll see what happens from there. Anyways, so let's check out the technicals. The 1 minute right here is currently bullish. The 1 minute is bearish, and the reason for it being bearish is because price is below the pivots and the trend meter is red. Looking on the 3 minute, same situation. Price is below the pivots. Trend meter is blue right now, meaning that it's indecisive. It was currently bullish last night during London session, and then it came right back down right here. So it looks like it's starting to shift down for a sell. Here on the 10 minute, price was currently bullish as well. It's starting to make its way down. So it might be shifting to a sell as well. So for the most part, the short-term timeframes are indicating a bearish bias. The reason for that is because price is below the pivots. The trend meter is red here on the 1 minute. Here on the 3 minute, it's blue, meaning that it's starting to shift to the downside. Looking at the 1 hour, price is currently very bullish. So even if it was to drop a little bit, it still has a lot of space until it reaches a pivot right here, which is about 400 or 500 pips. So we do have some time here and some space for it to make its way down. Once the market does open, though, we'll confirm with the fundamentals to see whether it's going to continue dropping or not, right? If you guys remember yesterday, we confirmed the fundamentals. Price faked out for a bullish move in the beginning, and then it came crashing all the way back down because the fundamentals were currently, well, right now they're closed. You can see it says unchanged, but the entire stock index for the Dow 30 was completely red. So even though it was manipulating its push to the upside, we knew it was going to come down, and we caught that for a nice big drop once it actually happened. So we got 3 minutes, guys. 3 minutes till market open. Once market opens, we can confirm the fundamentals, and then we can determine, which direction to be trading. AJ, morning. Hey, Ronaldo, morning. Morning, everybody. Hopefully you guys had a great week so far. Like I mentioned earlier, I did take some pre-market trades, so I'm currently in profit pretty heavily for the morning so far. I'm right now in profit 3,323 on one account, and then on my other account, I'm in profit 2,833. So in total, I'm in profit about 6,000 for this morning, which is not too bad. G-Main over here, he took a couple trades. It looks like he had some pre-market, so he locked in a total of 2,601 off his one of his accounts. And then his other account, he locked in 594. Nice work, G-Man. So you're looking good so far, bro. Yeah, if you guys do have profit to send over, go ahead and send them over. Otherwise, we will be starting our live session in about 1 minute and 15 seconds. Well, I mean, live session's on, but we're going to start our trades for this right here. Randy's asking for Asia session. Do you set? No, I don't set any alerts. I just look at it randomly. So that's why I can't go on the live session, because they come up randomly. They're not there's no set time period where volatility is high. I kind of just check it and then I see whenever there's a trade there. Fire Tablet's asking, what time did you take those trades? Which ones are you talking about? There's a timestamp on there, Fire, if you want to go take a look. These are during Asia session, and then this most recent one right here is from this morning. Yeah. All right, guys. Market's opening in about 30 seconds. Once we confirm that, we can start looking for our trade. Hey, Joe, morning. Riga said, looks like a pump. All right, guys. So I'm going to stop looking at the chat now. I'm closing the chat window. I'm going to be focused on the trading. Once I'm done trading, I'll go back to the chat window and answer questions. So if you guys do have questions, drop them in the chat. I'll answer them at the end of my my trading session. So, all right, we got 5 seconds till market open. 4, 3, 2, 1. Market is now open. So let's see where it goes. All right, we see that pump to the upside. That was kind of what Rigo is saying right there. Let's look at the fundamentals real quick. I'm going to refresh this. Price, it's currently 92 points in the green. Let's look at the stock index over here. Entire stock index is completely green, aside from one stock, which is Amgen. It's down 1.26 points. So let's refresh this again one more time. Let's see, because there's one stock that's still not open yet. All right, everything is green, so it's very bullish right now. Looking at this, let me refresh this. It's currently at 258 points. It's very, very bullish right now. What I could see happening right here is probably a fake out to the bottom. So be careful, guys. Whenever the market's very one-sided like this, it's usually, it gives ground for some sort of manipulation. Because the thing is, if you see this pumping up like this, you're probably going to see it pull down a little bit, and then it's going to come back up. So this is this technically would be the breakout right here, but I'm not going to take it yet, and I'm probably going to miss it, which is fine. It's just too risky for me to hop in right away. So here is the breakout entry right here, and you can see prices starting to come down. Right, this is exactly why I'm waiting for it to come down a little bit. I'll probably get down for a discount. I mean, if you guys want to take it, you guys can, but like I mentioned, this is probably gonna have to pull back a little bit. So I don't think I'm going to take this right here. For the breakout, I'm going to type in where TP1 would be right here, just so that we can be aware of where it's going to possibly bounce. And if it hits TP already, then it's fine. I'm not gonna take the breakout. I don't like it when it moves that, and it's going to. It already hit TP1, so TP1 was technically right here, and it's going to hit full TP already. Yeah, so whoever caught it, I mean, congrats to you guys. You can move your stop loss and profit if you're currently in the position already. It's just way too risky. We've seen this before where there's a lot of fake outs. It's just too one-sided. But as you guys can see, the fundamentals point towards a bullish move, and there you go, full TP right there. I didn't take it. This was a huge candle right here. You guys have seen it before where it pushes up like this, then it comes right back down. So I wasn't trying to get caught in that retracement there. It went up about 650 pips, and then it just kept shooting up for the rest of the move right there. So I didn't catch it. So I'm not going to call that trade. Well, I'm not going to count it as mine because I didn't take it, obviously. But, for you guys who did catch it, big congrats to you guys. It's NFP week, guys. So you have to remember, this is the week to be careful. Yeah, that thing's still pushing up even higher. And this is why we confirm the fundamentals first, right? If you look at the fundamentals here, this is going to always help the market. So right here, it's literally all green. So what I'm going to be looking for now is a retracement, and I'm going to catch it as it swings back up. Looking over here, stocks rally on hopes Congress will avert government shutdown. Dow rises 300 points. So with this news release being released right here, I'm expecting price to come back down, which is completely fine. I want it to come down. I'll catch it as it swings back up. So goodbye the dip. But damn, that was a nice move right there. Kind of wish I would have taken it, but it's okay. I'm in profit a lot this week from trading Asia session and just applying the new strategy that we've been forward testing. So I'm risk averse, guys. I don't like taking risks like that, especially if it's a big move. So I'm just going to close this right here. If you guys do have profits off that trade, you could send them over. Twan over here took that trade. He took it for a sell, actually. He made 145. I guess this is prior to market open. Yeah, I'm not going to count this trade here because I didn't take it, obviously. But we will be looking for other entries here now. So let me just put that there. I'll put the requirements here. This is going to be the 1 minute. You can see price starting to come back down. So I'm going to wait for it to come down and we'll hop right back in. That's such a huge candle right there off this 3 minute. This right here pushed up. Wow, 1,400 pips. It's nuts. Same with the 3 minute here. We're going to be looking for the pullback. Same with the 10 minute over here. This is the snipe. So let me see if there's any zones around that area. What time is it? 6:34. I got to be careful for news coming at 7 because it is restricted from what Stern mentioned. And I don't want to get my FT mode taken away trading during news when you're not supposed to. Okay, I got that taken off right there. Requirements here for the snipe. Then I have a separate chart over here for the daily. All right, so if the daily comes for a sell, I'm probably not going to take it because the fundamentals are just too strong right now. They're super bullish. I don't want to get caught any fake out. So even if we do get a sell here for the daily entry, I'm not going to be taking it. If it's a buy, then yeah, I'll take it possibly. But for a sell, probably not. All right, going back to the 1 minute here. Yeah, don't chase this move, guys, because eventually it's going to have to come back down. What we're looking for here is we're now looking for the retracement. We want it to come down, and then we want to catch it as it swings back up. It's all about patience, guys. Don't get caught in these fake outs right here because you're probably going to get, the last thing you want to do is enter a buy here, and then it ends up pulling down heavily and it stops you out before it shoots right back up. And that's basically what we're looking for right here. We're looking for it to retrace back down, and then we catch the dip as it swings back up. As price starts to stabilize, I'll start drawing the swing highs and swing lows. For those of you who are looking to apply the high-low strategy. But currently right now, I'm just going to be waiting for this to come back down because it's eventually going to have to come back down slightly before it continues pushing up higher. So let me check this real quick. Let's go and refresh this. And it's currently up almost 400 points. It's up so high right now. These are like COVID numbers right here. Before when COVID is going on, the numbers were like over 500. Even like today, like a normal day like this, it's still pretty high as well. Usually if it's like above 100, 200, that's cool. Over 300, 400, that's very high. Looking over here at the futures data, you can see this is a little more stabilized. It's up 256 points. Looking at the stock index, let's see if anything here changed. Nothing, still all green. Looks like Verizon, Coca-Cola, Walgreens. These might start turning red, but we'll see what happens when the market, there you go. And you see how it pulls down heavily. This is why I was warning you guys not to enter any buys because it's going to have to pull down. So this is exactly what we were waiting for. We want it to pull down. We want an opposite sell signal for it to drop, and then we want to catch it as it swings back up. So looking at the 10 minute here, you can see that the buy signal here disappeared, which is completely fine. That's actually what we want to happen here for the 10 minute so that we can catch it as it comes back down. And then if we get it for a buy later, we can catch it and just write it up. If this closes like this here, I'm not going to take the trade. Because it doesn't fit the requirements. Before we used to take the trades at 6:30, but now we're not necessarily looking to take a trade like that anymore because it just makes it too risky, especially after a big move like this. Let me see if I could find an example here. Like you guys can see, whenever there's a big drop like this, it's going to have to retrace up and then it'll possibly reverse. So it's something to keep in mind because I see a lot of people get caught in these fake outs. It's because they're not really familiar with like how US 30 moves. And the reason we know is because we've been trading this every day for like the past 3 years now. live on these sessions. So just, take that with some thought if you guys do decide to take any of these trades here. All right, we're still looking for that retracement. In order for us to get a retracement, we're looking for a sell signal that's against the trend. So right here, price is trending up. We're looking for a sell signal indicating that it's a momentum swing downwards for a retracement, and we catch it as it swings right back up. That's the main reason why we are looking for this here, because this might just go sideways for a bit, right? What I'm going to do next is I'm going to draw these highs and these lows here so that we can identify, when might be an entry using the other strategy. So what I'll do here too, guys, is I'll put the requirements for this risky strategy just so that you guys can understand, what we're looking for here as well, aside from this 1 minute pivot scalp. Because the thing is, we've been applying this other one for a while too. So this is going to be the K2. This is going to be the K2 US 30 high-low scalp strategy. So first you want to confirm a break and close, or here, this is what you want to do first. First, you want to identify previous swing high and swing low. Four or five candles must pass to establish. And this is a key thing because I see a lot of people misidentifying high lows. Confirm price break, close past high low. 3, confirm direction of momentum using K2 momentum indicator. And I think that's about it for this. Someone's drawing on the screen. Let me delete this for whoever's drawing on the screen right here. All right, guys, try not to draw on the screen because you're going to confuse a lot of people who are following this. I know it might have been an accident, but just, be a little careful next time. So this would be the K2 US 30, and this is unfinished, not official. This is just going to be the bare basic requirements for the strategy here. So I'll move this down here because we're not looking for this right now currently. I mean, we will be eventually, but right now we're looking at this right here. So basically you want to identify the previous swing high or swing low, and it must be 4 or 5 candles past it, past the high, in order for it to establish that it's an actual high. So you can see that I drew this blue line right here, right? So the reason I drew this blue line is because this is the high right here. I do have an indicator that we currently created, or I'm currently working on right now, and that's how I have these markers right here. It's a K2 high-low indicator. It's specifically for this strategy. So it's not ready for you guys yet. It'll be ready at some point, but right now, currently, it's not ready. So for this requirement here, I've been getting a lot of questions about this. Basically, the 4 or 5 candles pass means that we have a high established, right? And you can't have this point pass for 4 or 5 candles. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles right here, right? In this situation, it's going to be a little bit subjective, right? Because, I gave you guys a little range. It can be 4 or 5. So this can technically be a high if you want it to be. However, price broke it right here, right? So the thing is, if this candle right here, say right here, if this high right here doesn't get broken for the next 5 candles, then this is no longer going to be the high. This is going to be the high. So if you guys understand what I'm saying right there, this technically is a high. This could subjectively be the high, but if 5 candles pass after this, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it hasn't passed above it, then this is going to be the new high, because you want to get the most recent, like the previous high. Because if you're looking at this one, this is now the previous high. This is no longer the previous high because it's been broken. And that's why I drew the lines here. So basically what we're looking for here is we're looking for the previous swing highs or lows, or both, depending on which direction you're trading. You want to confirm price breaks past it. So for example, here, if price pushes above here and closes above here, this is going to be the second requirement, right, for this strategy. So first you want to identify the previous high or swing low. Right here is the most recent one. We have to wait for the first 4 or 5 candles to pass before we establish that, but it looks like it's going to. This is 1, 2, 3. This is 3 candles. We need 2 more candles in order for it to establish that this is the high. Second, you want to confirm price breaks and closes past it right here. Once that happens, you want to confirm the direction of K2 momentum using the K2. So I'll just put this, use K2 momentum using K2 momentum indicator. Only trade in that direction. And after that, you can enter on the open of the following candle. All right, so in order for us to take a buy, there needs to be a most recent buy signal, right? So looking at this right here, if you pull back, right here is the current sell, but if you pull back over here before this candle, it was a buy, so we'd be looking for a buy. Now, currently, if this closes as a sell, then we would be looking for a sell for it to close below here, right? However, I'm not really looking for sells right now because, like I mentioned, the fundamentals are currently very bullish, and you don't want to trade against the fundamentals. So I'm not necessarily wanting to trade against, I'm not looking to take any sells right now. What I'll be looking for is for it to swing back up, and I'll take the buys as it swings back up. But currently right now, even if this closes below here, I wouldn't take it. And that's why this is unfinished and not official, because I need to confirm other requirements in order to make sure that you guys don't make mistakes. Because, you can always improve a strategy. You just have to add another confluence or another confirmation or something like that. One of the main confirmations that I like to use are going to be the fundamentals. So even if we do get a sell right here, I wouldn't take it. I would be waiting for it to swing back to the upside. All right. Even though it'll probably hit. So I'll give you guys, I'll follow it, even though I'm not going to take it, just to see, because we're forward testing the strategy. So this strategy is something that I just introduced to you guys recently. And it's currently being forward tested, meaning we're testing it live during live conditions, real time, not back testing. Because when you back test it, you don't really get very good results. It could always be skewed, because when you guys back test, you guys look for you basically look for winners every time. When you forward test, you have to suffer losses, and you have to realize mistakes, right? Whenever mistakes are made. So that's kind of what we're doing here. The strategy will probably be released to you guys hopefully by the end of the month. If not by the end of the month, it should be by next month, because you guys have seen all the profits I've been making during Asia session. And I see that a lot of you guys have been applying it yourself already. And if you guys are brand new here, you guys can watch the previous mentoring session to learn it as well. Just go on the YouTube channel and then pull up the previous mentoring session. All right, so no entry here yet. Going back over here on the 3 minutes, still no entry. So that's why I kind of took time to explain it to you guys, because there was no entry here. We have a pending sell here on the 1 minute, also pending, actually no, pending sell on the 10, just the 1 minute right now. So just going back and forth here, I showed you guys that there's like really nothing for us to take at this moment. Right here, so here's another thing I'm going to explain. This would not be an entry, right, guys? I just want to make that clear, because a lot of you guys will miss that. If you guys see this drop right here, some of you guys might have taken this using the strategy. However, this is not a valid entry. Reason for that's because you only trade in the direction of momentum, right? Requirement number 3. There's no sell momentum signal here. So this would not be an entry. Just FYI, because I do see a lot of you guys make that mistake where you guys get too excited and you guys skip requirements, right? There's a reason why we have all the requirements here, because you guys are supposed to follow them. All right, we're just waiting. For the most part, we're just waiting. There's no entries. It's 6:47 right now. As it gets closer to 6:50, I'm probably going to have to wait to take trades, because we do have restricted news coming up, which is going to be the natural gas storage at 7 o'clock. I'm going to refresh this real quick. It's at 7:30. Okay, sorry guys. Actually, I'll keep trading. Natural gas storage is actually at 7:30. It's not at 7. So my mistake. So we'll still be looking for trades. We have quite a bit of time. Here, this is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to draw a line over here so that I don't trade from 7:25 up until 7:35, because I don't want to get caught being in a trade during news. So, all right. So looking at this right here, you can see that the lows are starting to disappear, right? That's why we need 4 or 5 candles past it before we can establish that as the actual low. This right here has already been used because price already broke and closed past it. So this is no longer usable as a high low. So I'm going to take this off right here. The new high low is going to be over there. And these blue lines right here are just news. There's news right here in the middle. I'm going to make sure not to trade during the news because I've done that before in the past where I made a mistake and I traded during news or traded close to news. I almost lost my funded account. All right, still looking here, nothing available yet. We're looking for the retracement here so that we can catch it as it swings back up. Same with the 1 minute. We're looking for the retracement here so that we can catch this swing back up, right? All right, nothing available here. You can see it's still pulling back. Looking at the stock index right here, the entire stock index is completely green, right? So there's no reason for it to be pulling back at all. It should continue pushing up higher and higher. It's currently up 348 points right now. I can see that the stocks are starting to weaken a little bit, but it's still completely green. So there's no reason for it to really drop that much. It's currently dropped, let's see, about 700 pips so far. So it's going to have to swing back up eventually. You know, the entire index is still green. Right here, it looks like Salesforce is starting to change to to red. So you can see stocks here are starting to turn red. So but it changed right back. So Salesforce was red for like 1 second and it popped right back into the green. So there shouldn't really be much of a drop right now. If you see a drop happening like this is all manipulation, right? So price came down and then now it's coming right back up. It's correcting back to the upside because that's where it's supposed to go, right? The entire index is completely green. There's no reason for it to be dropping. The daily average is currently up 365 points. The futures data is currently up almost 400 points. It's a huge push to the upside. Looking at retail sentiment over here, a lot of retail traders are currently short, which is good for us because we want to be trading opposite of the retail traders. If all the retail traders are short, we want to go long. And the reason we want to go long is because fundamentals are pushing to the long side. So if everything's green, and this is how a lot of people fail at trading, right? They try to do the opposite of where price is supposed to be going. So price is going up, but everyone's trying to go short. This is why we'll go up because that's where the fundamentals are pointing. And you can see right here, price starting to push up exactly where it's supposed to go. So unfortunately, there's no pullback here using the original scalp strategy. So using this strategy right here, the pivot, there's no entry available because we need to have a momentum signal. There's not going to be a momentum for a buy until we have a momentum for a sell. So currently right now, nothing necessarily available. So we'll be looking for this right here. What I'm looking for at this point is I'm waiting for price to break and close past this line right here. If it breaks and closes past the line, then I can take this buy and I can ride it up even higher. All right, there's another high established right here. In order for us to establish this as the actual high, 4 or 5 candles have to pass, right? So we have to wait for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once that happens, we can put the line right here, and this would be established as a new high. However, right now, it hasn't happened. All right, and this is like literally a game of patience right now. So we're waiting for it to close above here. If that happens, then I'll be taking the buy. Let me get my MetaTrader ready, make sure it's set. All right, yeah, we're good. So going back over here, guys, we never had that retracement signal. So there's going to be no entry off the 3-minute. Looking over here on the 10-minute, in order for us to have an entry off this, we need a wick rejection off the pivots and structure. So price would need to come back down here before we can have any entries off that. Looking at the daily entry right here, so this is what I would be looking for. I generally want to trade for a buy. So in order for us to take this, I would be looking for an invalid sell signal, and then I'll look for a swing back to the buy, and I'll take that. But I'm definitely not going to be taking it if it's going to be a sell, because it doesn't look like price is going to be dropping anytime soon. The entire index here is still completely green. So I don't see it shifting anytime soon. Looking over here at the daily average, it's now currently up 407 points, 402 now. Looking at the futures data, it's currently up 380 points. So the market's very, very green right now. No reason for it to be coming down at all. So our only thing that we really have coming up is going to be this 1 minute if it closes above here. And I'll be using this strategy right here. All right, let's see. see. All right, price is making its way up. Oh, 2 seconds. Oh, fuck, too slow. Let's see if I can catch that real quick. Yeah, my freaking missed the entire move. I gotta like pull out soon. It already hit TP, I believe. Stupid slippage. Yeah, it already hit TP. So let me see if I can pull out with some profit right here. Oh, it pulled me out. I logged 1,000 off that trade. Okay, so you guys can see that the strategy we're looking for, right? We were waiting for it to close above here. It did. I entered the buy. It already closed me out. I locked in about 890 off that trade right there. So you guys got to be quick. This is why it's important that you guys have the indicator so that you guys can hop into this trade here. This whole time I was telling you guys, we're waiting for it to close above here, right? In looking at the requirements here, identify the previous swing. We identify the swing like X amount of minutes ago, 10, 20 minutes ago. We confirm the break and close past the previous high, right? This is the break and close. We confirm the direction of momentum because we have the buy signal right here. And we only trade in that direction. So once that happened right there, I mentioned that I entered the trade. You guys heard the click. I got into the trade, it hit TP, and I'm out. So that's how quick these trades move, guys. You guys have to be paying attention. You guys have to be knowing exactly what to look for when we take these here, because you're going to miss the move. And you guys can't get greedy. You have to close out of the position when you have the opportunity. Like right now, it hit TP. You're supposed to close out, and that's how you make profit off that trade there. So let me go ahead and here, let me just do this real quick. Let's get a little update here. Continue to change the information here. All right, and then I'll give you guys a little update right here as well with my okay, let me see. I gotta go and post my thing over here real quick. I need to post my profits for that. So let's take a screenshot of my profits real quick. I locked in 890 off this account. Yeah, stupid slippage. 690. Yeah, it was supposed to be at 1,000 because I had my TP set at 100 pips, but it locked me out at 890, which is not bad. Let me see this real quick over here. All right. So I locked in, and I'll show you guys real quick. So I want to make sure I don't miss any other trades here. Okay, so this is all done with right here. I'll show you guys what I locked in. So here's my first account. I locked in 890 off that trade. And then for my second one, I locked in 690. So it was supposed to be 1,000, but there was slippage. It moved too fast. But you can see the green line right here because it closed me out at my actual TP. So I had the TP set there. It was supposed to be 1,000, but it's okay. I'll take the 890. This was my copier. You can see it moved a little slow because of the slippage, and it closed me out at 690. So definitely great work right there. Let me just give an update. Nice profit off that K2 US 30 1 minute. I'll just put HL because it's just too much. It's too much work for me to type it all out. All right. So there we go with that right there. Move this over here. If you guys have profits off that trade, go ahead and send them over. Andy over here. So Andy locked in a total of about 1,000. So 955 for the day, a total of 1,000 for this morning. Nice work, Andy. Looking over here. Let's see, Angela locked in a total of 789. Nice work, Angela, right there. And then her other account, she locked in 251. Great work, Angela, all around the board. Tim over here locked in a total of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So a little over 2,000 right here off his account. So definitely nice work right there. Jose, my cousin over here, he locked in a total of 1,500 for the day. So off that buy right there, he locked in 690. Looks like he kind of got kicked out of the trade as well a little early, but he locked in a total of 1,497. Great work, Jose. Brian over here locked in a total of 742. Nice work, Brian. G-Main over here locked in a total of 3,330. Wow. So he took that trade there. It looks like he got in a little earlier. He locked in 2,050, or he probably got in at the dip. So, oh yeah, he said he bought by accident, left it, but didn't feel comfortable. So his first account over here, he locked in 1,287. And then his second account over here, he locked in a total of 3,330. Nice work, bro. Looking at Vincent over here, Vincent locked in about 700 off that trade. Nice work, Vincent. Look at Twan over here. Twan locked in a total of 1,305. Nice work, bro. And all you guys are killing it today. Again, Owen over here locked in a total of 287. Nice work, Owen. RJ locked in a total of 3,251. Nice work, RJ. Alan locked in a total of 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, about 4,000 to 5,000 right here off Alan. All wins, no losses. Great work, Alan, off that. And Patricia over here locked in a total of 1,570. Great work, Patricia. So you guys can see a lot of people locked in some pretty good profit off, just that one trade right there. We're now looking for another high. For the pivot strategy, there's going to be no entry because we still need that retracement to the downside, which hasn't happened. So there's not going to be an entry for that. Currently, we're still looking to apply this strategy here. This high's already been used up, right? Because we took this trade here, we hit the TP. So this is no longer the high. We have to now look for the most recent high, or the previous high, which would probably be this one right here if it closes. But we need it to close. And you guys can see how bullish it is, right? This is why we were looking for buys, because the fundamentals here were completely bullish. There's no reason to look for any sells. Whenever I see people trade against fundamentals, I always feel sorry for them because I know they're going to lose a trade. You guys have to always be aware of where the fundamentals are going. This is going to be key. This is the first thing I look at every time. It's always fundamentals, retail sentiment, and technicals are always going to be last for me, especially during a session when that session is going on. So let's see, move this higher right here. This hasn't established yet, right? We need 4 or 5 candles after before we can establish it. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, etc. And then that's how we would identify where the high is going to be. So we'll put that there temporarily. But if this doesn't close in the next, or if price doesn't end up staying below here with the next 4 or 5 candles, then there's going to be another high that we'll be looking for. Yeah, let's see other profits here. So a lot of other people sent their profits here. Patricia up 1,570. Larkin currently up 2,832 for the day. Nice work, Larkin. He took that buy there and he rode it to full TP. He took 2 of them actually. New levels over here, locked in a total of 444. Nice work, bro. All right, man. You guys are super on point with your profits for the day. If you guys have more to send over, go ahead and send them over. Otherwise, we'll be looking for another entry here. So nothing yet. We're just waiting. So nothing here. Price is continuing to push up, but I don't recommend anyone enter it. Wait for that price to pull back a little bit so that we can have a confirmation of that retracement before we hop into the trade. Looking here on the 3-minute, we still need that retracement down so we can catch it as it swings back up, but there's no retracement right now. So no entries off the 3-minute. Looking at the 10-minute over here, we need price to come down and reject off the pivot. So still no entries off the 10-minute either. Same with the daily strategy. So no entry off the daily either. The only time frame that we have any possible entries that could maybe come up would be here on the 1-minute. So I'll just take these off right here because I don't really need them. I know that there's news coming up at 7:30, so I'll just try to keep a mental thought. I just don't like having messy charts. So looks like we're good right here. See if there's anything else to look at. Nice. Twan took a couple more trades here. So he's now up 1,685. Nice work, Twan. Yeah, you guys are doing real good today. Albert over here as well. So Albert sent his profits, locked in a total of 1,796. Nice work, Albert. Tommy looks like he finally woke up for the live session. He's up 4,015. So Tommy finally made it today. Roland over here, he's up 29 bucks on his account, small account, but he took a small lot size for that specific trade there. see. All right, it's one right there. Yeah, it's 1,689. Looks like you took another one there. CT is currently up 5,476. Nice work, CT. Paul over here currently up. Oh, so Paul actually made it. Paul's had some internet connectivity issues, but he's right back on here. He locked in a total of 1,043. He said felt comfortable with NASDAQ today. He's been trading NASDAQ instead of US 30, which is completely fine. You know, our strategies here translate to other assets. It's not just US 30. And Brian took another one too. So Brian's currently up 1,337. Nice work, Brian. All wins, no losses, guys. It's all about consistency here, right? Straight consistency from Brian. You guys have seen Brian post his profits, you know, earlier today too. All consistency, right? All wins. That's what you guys want to strive for here. Patricia, all wins, right? My account, all wins, right? All wins today. All wins yesterday. All wins, you know, for this entire week so far, aside from that breakout. So this is my account, like from yesterday. All wins here, right? Total profit 7,738. Sometimes you guys just have to take profits, and they add up over time. I know I see a lot of people get greedy and they get like about, you know, X amount of profit and they want to make more. They end up not closing their trade and it reverses on them. So key thing here, guys, is not to not get greedy, right? The time that most people fail at trading is because they get greedy, or if they want to overtrade, you know, they get greedy and they want to overtrade as well. Either they don't want to close a trade or they want to overtrade. They enter a trade and they're supposed to be out of it and they hop right back in. It ends up reversing on them. So you guys just want to keep that in mind. Dell over here, he took an L, but he bounced back. So Dell over here had a bunch of wins. He had one loss right there, but he bounced right back this morning. So made it right back into profit. He's currently in profit 738 this morning. All right. So guys, like I had like somebody complain saying that like for most of the session, all we're doing is going over profits. And the reason for that is because there's no entries, right? There's not always going to be an entry 100% of the time. You have to wait for actual entries. You know, it's a game of patience. So whenever I see reviews like that, it just doesn't make sense to me, right? There's not always going to be a review that's available all the time. Obviously, I'm going over people's profits because we have downtime. If there was trades available, obviously I'd be taking the trades, but currently right now there's nothing available. So I just want to make that clear to some people here because, you know, we keep getting like random complaints from people where they say that on these live sessions, the strategies don't work, but everyone's making profit. So it doesn't really make sense to me. How's the strategies not working if everyone's making profit? Also, I get people complaining that I'm usually like talking about trade psychology too much, but I'm here to help you guys out, right? I'm not here to like be a specific, just call trades and that's it. I'm here to make sure that you guys actually understand what you're doing so that you guys don't make mistakes. So just want to make that clear because you're probably here on the live session, you know, the same person that's complaining, they're mad because I'm not calling trades every single second. You know, I'm here to help you guys out. There's not going to be trades every single second. When there's trades, I'll call them, but they're not always going to be there. So I just want to make sure because it's just weird. Some weird complaints like the most, and it's probably a brand new person that just started watching the live session. I think they're like expecting to just come onto the live session and take trades all day. But there's not always going to be trades available. So, all right, let me see if there's anything else here that I can check. I've said I want to complain. Shawn don't like me. Yeah, no, definitely. All right, so looking at this right here, guys, we're still looking for an entry. You know, just like I mentioned, I'm going through the time frames, right? The 1 minute here, there's no entry using this strategy yet until price breaks the swing high, right? We don't have any breaks there. Also, there's no pivot strategy right here because we need a retracement. Because in order for us to get the first requirement, which is a valid K2 momentum signal, we need an invalid signal in this direction, right? So there we go. If we have the sell signal right here, that's perfectly fine because once we have the signal in the other direction, we can take that for a buy. So no entries available yet off this. I'm going to put this aside, or I'll just leave it here because these are two separate strategies and we're applying both of them. So no entries off any of these strategies on the 1 minute, but there's possibly going to be one using this one right here. On the 3 minute, no entries here because of the same reason. The first requirement requires a valid K2 momentum signal. So looking at this right here, in order for us to get a valid buy signal, we need a sell signal. So once we get a sell signal for a retracement, then we'll catch it as it swings back up. So I just want to make it clear, no entry off the 3-minute. Again, right here on the 10-minute, first requirement, wick rejection off the K2 pivot, right? There's no wick rejection. So no entry off the 10-minute, and then same off the daily as well. So nothing off the daily, nothing off the 10-minute, nothing off the 3-minute. The only time frame that we could possibly have an entry on would be the 1-minute here. So couple things to keep in mind, and I just want to make sure that there's no confusion here. So we will be waiting for this to come up. All right, 7:08 right now. We have new, I'll just put a line right here when the news happens at 7:30. That should be okay. About 7:28 actually. Okay, so when this happens right here, this is going to be restricted news. Let me check the calendar real quick as well on FTMO, because I know CERN did confirm that it was CERN did confirm that it was restricted. Yeah, it is a restricted event. So this is FTMO traders are restricted to trade 2 minutes before to 2 minutes after this release. Yeah, so it's definitely restricted. I don't know if it's restricted for US 30, but I'm not gonna try it. But it is restricted. So I'm definitely not going to trade once we get closer to this area right here, because I can't be in a trade from this point up until 4 minutes after. All right, so since news is coming up shortly, I'm going to go and answer questions. So let me pull up the Zoom real quick. If you guys do have questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. I'm more than happy to help you guys out with whatever questions you guys have. So let me just scroll up a little bit and see what I'm missing. All right, so Al's asking about the 10-minute. So guys, looking back at the 10-minute right here, this would not be a valid entry. And the reason for that is because the requirement requires that you look for entry after the New York Stock Exchange open at 6:30 a.m. So this signal came on at 6:30. Unfortunately, I was hoping that it wouldn't come on at this time and it'd come on after. And that's why we wouldn't have taken it. Before in the past, we used to take the entry at this point, but we started to realize that there were a lot of fake outs that would happen. So that's why we stopped taking it there. I still see some people do take it. So, I mean, some people still take it. And some of you guys are probably in this position right now, because a lot of you guys who have been part of K2 years prior, you guys remember that we didn't have very many requirements for this. Like our requirements for this were basically just take anything when the market opens. So the market opens right here, we would take it. But what happened was we started to hit some losses, right? So in order for us to avoid those losses, we try to figure out, what was the problem. The problem was that a lot of these signals came on open, and then we would get a fake out right after. And that's why we added this requirement to it. So technically, I mean, if you're using the very, very basic original strategy, then yeah, of course, this would be the entry, but I wouldn't have taken it because I was expecting it to possibly pull back, which it did right here. And then it swung right back up. So it's okay. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Let me just move this up real quick because this is now a new low. See anything over here? Yeah, there's nothing right there. So there's nothing at that point. Jay's question is, do we look at the signals on the 1 minute? So depending on which strategy you want to apply, Jay, we have different strategies. There's 1 minute strategies, there's 3 minute strategies, there's 10-minute strategies, there's another 10-minute strategy, there's a 4-hour strategy, right? Just depending on whatever time frame you're trading on or what strategy you're trying to apply, you can apply it on the 1 minute. These are the two strategies that we apply on the 1 minute. There's a couple other ones you can apply as well, but these are the main ones that we apply on the live session. So yeah, you can look for signals if you're applying the strategy here, but it's not required. If you don't like trading on the 1 minute because it moves too fast, you can trade on a different time frame. There's no requirement that you only trade on the 1 minute, but this is why we trade the 1 minute on the live session, because we're only on the session for an hour and a half, right? If I'm trading on the 4-hour, we're probably never going to find an entry. Same with like the 30-minute and 10-minute, because that's just a lot of time that passes using those time frames. So that's the main reason why I use the 1 minute here on the live session. It's quick in and out. You guys are able to make profits with me quickly, and then we're out for the day. So this might be a new high right here. I'll just mark it up. We need about 4 or 5 candles after it to establish it, but it's not currently available just yet. Let me scroll down a little bit and see what else I missed. Nice. Yeah, policy made 1,000 off that. Another question about the daily entry. Javier said 10 pips for that 1 minute. 100 pips, Javier. 10 pips is like, that won't even cover the spread. It'd be 100 pips, so 10 points. Yeah. Thanks, Peter, for confirming that as well. I just saw your message below that. Ellis said, would you move your low candle at the 1354? Ellis, I think if you want to give me time stamps, you would have to change your time zone to mine, because I don't know what 1354 is your time. I'm not sure if that was over here. Yeah, I'm not sure where it is right here, but yeah, for this right here, I wouldn't have moved it. I mean, technically you can. This would technically be, but I don't think this would be established as a strong low. Because the thing is, you just pulled back a little bit and it came back up. It didn't really establish a low. Kind of just shot up and came back down slightly, just one candle. It's not enough to establish an actual low. That's why I have this indicator right here to help you guys from not identifying incorrect high lows. Because like I mentioned, it's very subjective right here. I don't think this is really a low, because I don't think it really established any floor there. It kind of just came up, swung down slightly, and then it came right back up. So I wouldn't have marked this up here. I think this is your time, 1354. It's 654 my time. That's why I'm not sure exactly if that's the time you're talking about, but I wouldn't have established this as a low there. Oh, gotcha. Okay, sorry, Ellis. I did see that you corrected it right before 654. Yeah. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have put that there, because it's it. So this thing, like I mentioned, is very subjective, right? If I took this off right here, I wouldn't really consider this a high low, because this came up and then just a random red candle, right? This isn't exactly established that price actually got stuck at this high and then it came back down. It was like one candle, came up and it came down and it came right back up. You have to look for stuff that's actually structured, not just a random spike down. Because this spike down right here could have happened due to something else, not necessarily because of actual price movement. It could have been happened to, I don't know if there was news around that time. I think there was around 7, right? Yeah, there was like IV PMI. So I wouldn't consider that a low. All right, let me scroll up a little bit. All right, so still no entry here, guys. What I'm looking for right here is I'm looking for price to break and close above here again, like it did earlier, so that we can take this for a buy. However, it hasn't come up there yet. Let's see. Yeah, Sisu said signal traders aren't traders. They just order takers. That's why they complain. Yeah, exactly. That's why we don't do signals here at K2 anymore, guys. We just had too many people complaining because they were just demanding. So we don't do signals anymore. Donovan said best $200 ever spent. Made that my first trading day with the young goat K2 with GFN. No, definitely, Donovan. I'm glad you're here with us. I remember when you first joined. Yeah, you did pretty well. So here we go as price closes above here. If price closes above here, this technically would be an entry using the scale. I don't know if I want to take it though, because the thing is I have news coming up so shortly. Let's see. Look at the fundamentals real quick. I think I could probably hop into this like really quickly if it closes above there. Might be a little risky, but we'll see. Oh, fuck, I accidentally clicked on it. All right, so I accidentally had the trade right away. So I'm currently in it already. Let's do this right here. Yeah, I accidentally entered it early. I was trying to move my chat window. I was trying to close it, but I ended up entering it. So I'm currently in profit right now. Let me see if I just. Yeah, I hope it pushes up quick, because I got to get out before the news event happens. What time is the news? Still got a few minutes. Get out soon. I might have to just close out of it early, guys. It already actually hit CP. It just missed my CP by a little bit. So if you guys want to get out of it, I mean, feel free to get out of it. I mean, or if you want to hold on to it, feel free. I just have the news event coming up shortly, so I have to get out of this ASAP. I shouldn't have taken it like right before news, because now I'm gonna get screwed. But it did hit. I mean, it technically hit the TP. It was just the spread wasn't enough to close me out of it. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to hold on to it, feel free. Or if you guys want to pull out when it pulls back up, you guys could. I'm going to pull out whenever I can. Or if I need to hold on to it longer, I will. Because of the news event. Damn it. So close to it. 6:20, 6:18. Let's see, news event's at 6:30 or 7:30. Let me check this real quick. Okay, there's nothing else around this time period. Here we go as it swings back up. Yeah, I'm moving my stop loss close. I mean, my TP closer. So when it pushes up, I'm already out of the position, guys. So I just had to pull up for a quick profit. Actually, let me see. All right, there we go. So I'm out of it. I was trying to move my TP closer, but it was too close, so it wouldn't let me adjust it. But there we go, full TP off that. That was a stupid move. I knew I shouldn't have traded because I knew news was coming up. I have this stupid line right here, and I still entered it. So full TP off that. It was a quick move. I'll send you guys my profits. I don't think I made a full profit off it because I did try to close it early. I think I was able to adjust the TP like very slightly, not necessarily that much, because I tried to move it at break even, but it was too close. It actually passed the price. Okay, no more dumb moves, guys. I got to take a break. That was stupid of me, because so here's a problem, guys. If you guys aren't familiar with FTMO, if I was still trading around this time period right here and I try to pull out at 7:28, they would have taken away my account, my funded account. So it's not worth the risk, guys. You know, if you have $1,000 or whatever, you can just chill out, just wait for it to pass. And then once the news is done, then you can start trading some more. But I'm going to be done trading for a little bit until this news event's done. And I'll give you guys the update right here. It's really not worth it, guys, to have a quick scalp and risk losing your, your FTMO off that. Here, let me take a screenshot off this here. I only made partial profit off it, which is okay. It was just super volatile. How much did I make? No, it wasn't that bad. I made about 500 off that trade. It was supposed to be 1,000, but I only made 500 off it. But I have 2 accounts, so I technically did make 1,000. Okay. So post that, and there's my profit to show you guys that, I actually took the trade with you guys here. I made 490 off it. It's supposed to be 1,000, but it closed me out early because I moved my stop loss closer. So for the day, I have no losses. I'm currently in profit, 4,144 off this account. And then my other account, I have no losses as well. This is my copier, just copies all my other trades. I'm in profit, 4,334. So, just adding that up. So 4,144.03 plus 4,334.02. I'm in profit 8,478.05 cents for this morning, or for this day, I guess. So good day so far. All right, no more trades for me for a second, guys. If I say I'm going to take a trade, warn me, but I won't. It's already 6:22, so I know for sure I should not be taking any trades right now for the next 10 minutes. All right, so scrolling up right here, let's see what everyone locked in. So let's see. Patrick is currently up 4,046. Nice work. All wins, no losses right here, Patrick. And then his other account, he's up 7,558. Again, right here, all wins, no losses. So great work, Patrick, across those accounts. Looking over here. RJ said, thank you, Shawn. I have ways to go, but my mental is getting there. I appreciate you. No, definitely, RJ. I'm glad to see that you're very consistent. All right. I remember when you first met, you weren't consistent at all. You're kind of just betting, you're gambling a lot, but now you're very consistent. I know you're like basically retired at this point. So, trading is all you do. So you have to really work on that trade psychology. You're up a total of 4,809. Nice work, RJ. Nice profit off that. Tuan over here made a couple of mistakes. He said, a little couple accidents. So he made a mistake right there, had a little loss. But he made it right back on the next trade. Again, right here, a little small loss. Looks like he might have closed it on accident, but he's still in profit, nearly 2,000 for the day. So nice work, Tuan. It's cool. And I think this is his personal account right there. Stern over here, he's in profit, 1,045 euros. So great work, Stern. Yeah, Stern said, damn, had to sit on my hands today due to all the news. Yeah, and there was a lot of news today, bro. Better to be safe than sorry. So let me, I haven't been posting my profits over here. So let me just send this over real quick. Let me get this over here as well. All right. Looking over here, let me just scroll down a little bit and see what everyone else did. So scrolling down, Tommy, he's now in profit 5,176. Nice work, Tommy. So yeah, he took that buy there, made a quick 1,000. Nice work. Rick said, see that fake news messed with you, Shawn. No, exactly. I agree. All right, so I think that's it for right now. If you guys have more profits, go ahead and send them over. Otherwise, we'll continue on with our analysis until the news is passed. Owen locked in a total of 513, all wins, no losses. Nice work, Owen. So great profits amongst everyone here. If you guys have more profit to send over, just send them over and I'll add them to the list for the day. Alex, he's currently in isolation right now. So Alex is in Singapore. It's kind of crazy when they come in contact with COVID, they have to be quarantined. So that he's like in a hotel right now. He can't trade big. So he said, once I'm out, won't risk anything in this isolation because he's isolated in his hotel. He locked in about 1,000 today. Usually Alex is locking in a lot more profit, but today he's, he's still doing good. Profit's profit. You can't really, it's not a bad thing that you lock in profit. CT over here as well. He locked in a total of 5,561. He said hit one and cut lots, some changes. Definitely smart work there, CT. So we're all done with this here, guys. This high is done with already. We're moving on to the next one, which is right here. But I'm not going to be taking trades because news is coming in about 5 minutes. So, all right, looks like we're just going to be waiting at this point. There's nothing really to take right now anyways, so it's not a huge deal. Nothing on the 3 minute, nothing on the 10 minute, nothing on the other 10 minute. Yeah, we're fine at this point. Let me see if there is anything different with the fundamentals. Let's refresh this. It's still all green. So entire stock index is green. So it's probably going to keep pushing up even higher. Looking over here at the Dow Index for the day, the average is currently 522 points in the green. That's crazy. Such a high push. Also, futures data currently at 515 points. That's good. Looking at retail sentiment. Damn, look, this is crazy. Can you guys see this? Like everything is pointing towards buy and it's green, but everyone is shorting right now. The retail traders are literally trying to catch the top, and they're not going to catch it because it's all green. It's going to keep pushing up higher and higher. And it's crazy. A lot of people are going to get stopped out right here. So this is actually good for us because in this case, if there's so many short sellers in the market, it's going to help with our liquidity zones, right? You guys are familiar with the liquidity zones. The liquidity zones are pretty much drawn at these highs anyway. So whenever price hits these points, what do you think happens? All of the retail traders who are short, their stop losses get triggered, right? And what happens when stop losses get triggered? That means money for us. Because when price hits this point, it's going to spike up. And when it spikes up, it's going to hit our TP within like a couple seconds or so. And that's why I like this strategy so much, because you're able to get in and out super quickly within like a minute, 2 minutes, even less than that in a lot of instances. So that's fine. If you guys have retail trader friends who are trading for sells, tell them to keep entering those sells. And we're going to keep entering these buys because we're going to do the complete opposite of what everyone else is doing. And that's crazy. I just don't see the logic in that, right? If you see the index is completely green, everything is green, but you see retail traders here still entering shorts, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Whatever, I don't care. It doesn't affect us. It actually benefits us. So they can keep selling all they want, and we're going to keep buying. All right, so perfect. All good for us here. But news is coming up in about 3 minutes, so we're going to have to wait a little bit before we can hop in. So Let's see what's going on over here. Let me check if there's anything here. Jay said if it closed in the same color, we take the next candle. Not exactly, Jay. You have to go and watch the strategy. These strategies here have specific requirements. In order for you to take a trade, you need to make sure that all requirements are met. Just because there's a signal there doesn't mean that's an entry. That just means that momentum is swinging in that direction. So, make sure that you're clear, you understand that clearly. You don't make, mistakes taking the wrong trades by, entering when you're not supposed to. Okay, so let me scroll down a little bit. Randall said, hey, Shawn, with the dips, if you see a normal structure price action, as long as I have a momentum signal, I can take trades off my bias, right? So if that's how you want to trade it, Randall, you can. I mean, there's no one way to trade. There's a ton of ways to trade it. If you have a background with identifying structure and price action, then that's great. You can use that to your advantage, right? There's a lot of people here in K2 who just use what you're saying. They use structure, they use support resistance, they use patterns, but they also factor in the momentum signals to make entries. So if you know what you're doing, Randall, you can do that. However, I would recommend that you stick to the strategies unless you know what you're doing. Because the last thing you want to do is try to do your own thing and then you end up blowing your account, right? So unless you're like 100% confident with your trading, then you can do it. But if not, I would just stick to what we're applying here or whatever strategy that you like within the course. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else that I'm missing here. Let's see. So Roger said, when there's a huge move in the direction of fundamentals like today, are you saying we need an invalid momentum signal or a K2 momentum signal in the opposite direction in order to take the normal scalp, assuming all requirements are met? No, Roger. So there's like really no condition. So here's the thing. I'm gonna try to explain to you as like, okay, so the first requirement here is to confirm a valid K2 momentum signal, right? And you want to confirm that price is above for a buy or a sell. You can't get a buy signal if there's already a buy signal here. There needs to be an opposite signal for there to be a buy signal, right? So there's no requirement there. It's a given, right? For this to happen, this has to happen. So that's why it's not a requirement. There has to be an opposite signal for there to be a valid signal, because there's no way you can get a buy after a buy, right? It's a momentum swing down, momentum swing up, momentum swing down, momentum swing up. There's not going to be momentum swing up and then another momentum swing up right after it. And that's why it's not in the requirements, because it's impossible for you to get it without that happening. So I don't know. Does that make sense to you? Okay, good. Got it, Roger. I just want to make sure, because there's no need for that requirement there, because the momentum swings one way or the other, right? It swings down, swings up, swings down, swings up. It doesn't necessarily have to, like, I mean, it has to happen, but you're not looking for it because it's going to happen regardless. Yeah, no problem, Roger. I know a lot of people do get confused with that. If I start to say something different, that's not part of the requirements. They ask if that's a new requirement, but it's not. It's just, it has to happen. All right, cool. So let me scroll down a little bit. Fire Tablet said, what time can we trade? So after the news, well, you can trade now, or actually you could trade in the next 3 minutes. So at 7:32, this is when you can trade if you're funded on FTMO. After this line right here, then you can start trading again, but you just can't trade before or after. Brave said, so Brave's question said, I have a question. How many candles do you consider as base candles before the breakout candle? So back to what I was saying, yeah, because I remember I answered this question yesterday, but it's okay, Brave, I'll answer it again. So the breakout we take happens from 6:30 to 6:35. If the breakout doesn't happen within this time period right here, then there's no entry, right? So the breakout did happen right here off the open, and that's why this would have been a breakout. However, if the breakout doesn't happen between 6:30 and 6:35, then there's no more breakout. We're done with that. And I hope, does that answer your question, Brave? Sorry, because I know your question here, you said, how many do you consider as base candles before the breakout candle? Basically, it's just a time period. It's the first 5 minutes of New York Stock Exchange open. So from 6:30 to 6:35, that's where you would take the breakout. If it doesn't happen between this time, then there's no breakout. So hopefully that helps with your question there. All right, I'm going to mark this up right here for a possible high-low scalp. Oh, guys, technically this was an entry right here for the pivot scalp, but we didn't take it because of the news. but this could technically be the high-low scalp right there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm taking it. Yeah, this thing is such a quick move to the upside. Let's see this right here. The market's kind of volatile right now, so I might have to move my stop loss a little lower. So if you guys want to do that, just make sure to use a smaller lot size to be able to handle that, drawdown if it happens. This strategy is kind of hard to apply on the 1 minute during New York session because it's just too volatile. Also, the pricing difference kind of sucks off this too. Let's see this real quick. Yeah, because so like if you guys look at each candle right here, these candles kind of move very fast. The thing is, if your stop loss is too close at 300 pips, you might get triggered at your stop loss before it pushes back up. So I'm moving my stop loss a little lower. I never recommend that you guys do this, but I just realized that how fast the candles are moving right now. So I know you should probably not do this. This is probably not required, but the thing is, I see it pushing up like at some point, and that's why I like to have a little bit more cushion. So I totally forgot that these candles move so fast. So the problem with this is that if your stop loss is too tight, you're going to get triggered and you're going to get pulled out of the trade quickly. So if you guys want to move your stop loss wider, like I do, you guys can. If not, then, just keep it at where it's at. And if you get stopped out, you get stopped out. But the problem is the market's too volatile. Plus you have to factor in the spread. Plus you have to factor in, there's a lot of things to factor in right now. Plus there's news today. So there's just a lot of stuff going on that's affecting the market, which would cause it to move a lot faster than it does during Asia session. So that's going to be another thing that I'm going to have to go over when applying this during New York session, right? Because it moves a lot different compared to Asia. In Asia, you can do this because it moves so slow, but during New York session, we might have to change the parameters for TP stop loss, stuff like that. All right, so here we go as it pushes back up into profit. Let's see where it's at. There we go, as it pushes up. I might have to adjust my TP because I think my TP is a little too far out. Let me adjust a little bit here. All right, here it pushes up. I'm gonna have to adjust my TP because the problem is the pricing difference here. So let me just change this a little bit. All right, so I just adjusted my TP a little bit because of the pricing difference. I just want to make sure that it lines up with the trading view thing there. So our normal stop loss would be right here at 300 pips. But, like I mentioned, I did extend it lower a little bit because of the volatility in the market. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's up to you guys because I don't know which broker you guys are using. If you guys are using a broker with tight spreads in it, you might be okay. However, if your broker has wide spreads, you might have to widen it out a little bit. So that's why I keep saying that this strategy is a work in progress, right? Because there's a lot of things that I still have to consider when taking these trades here, especially with the sessions. Because I normally apply this strategy during Asia session, but today there's just isn't very many entries available using the pivot scalp. So that's why I've been using. We've been using this during this session here. So just different things to consider if and when you guys do decide to apply the strategy here. Let's see, 737 right now. Let me check price real quick. I'm gonna check the fundamentals, see where everything's going. Currently up 550 points, currently looking at the index over here. And this is why I don't mind moving my stop loss lower, because I see how the fundamentals are currently like very green. And it just makes sense that it's gonna swing back up, right? So even if I was to hold on to it a little longer than I was supposed to, it's eventually going to swing back up to hit the TP. So that's why I also don't mind moving my stop loss lower. So if you guys are in that position, like I mentioned, I moved my stop loss lower just to handle the volatility because price is moving up and down so quickly. But if you guys don't want to, if you guys don't feel, the need to move your stop loss lower, then, you know, you can keep it where it's at. But you're probably going to get stopped. It's going to probably trigger your stop loss and it's going to swing back up like it's been doing lately. So it's just really up to you guys. It's preference. You know, I'm not trading your account. I'm trading my own account. So I do what I know is best for my account. So if that's what I'm doing, that's what I'm going to do. But if you guys want to do it the other way, that's up to you as well. So my stop loss is a lot lower than where it's supposed to be. And this is only for this trade. Once I pull out of this trade, I'm going to be done for the day for the most part. Because it is 7:38 right now. So it's getting close to 8 o'clock, which is usually where we log off. So let me see if there's anything else here. I don't think there's anything else here. Nothing off the snipe, nothing off the daily. Oh, the daily actually hit already. So, well, this wasn't the official daily, but if you guys took the daily, that was like unofficial. That was using the original parameters. This would have been it right here. So that's all done with. Let me see if I'm missing anything else over here. Rav's asking how low did I move it? I moved it like about 30, 50 pips. Not that far down. Ah, shit, I took a fucking loss on that. It's all good. So I took a loss off that trade right there. It's okay. Damn, how much did I lose off that? Not that bad. So I pretty much wiped out like half of my profits, unfortunately. It happens, right? So like I mentioned, we're still forward testing the strategy. There's a lot of things for us to look out for. Unfortunately, I did take a loss off this trade. It happens. So that's another thing that I have to take into account now. So like when we're forward testing this new strategy right here, the unfinished one, I need to forward test this to figure out, you know, what the parameters should be, because the parameters are not going to be the same as like what we normally have here for the pivot scalp. A reason for that's because of the volatility, right? You can see this candle here. If your stop loss is only 300 pips, you're going to get stopped out because it moved 400 pips in one candle right there. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else right here. So if you just measure these candles right here, you can see that each candle moves like at least 200 pips. Some candles will move like 400 pips. And you can see right here, price is starting to swing back up right here. If I move my stop loss a little lower, it would have been okay. But like I mentioned, my stop loss was just too tight. It's unfortunate, but it happens. You know, I'm just gonna have to eat that loss, but I'm still in profit heavily for the week, for the day, for the month, for the year. So it's not a big deal. And that's the cost of forward testing, right? If you don't have everything all set up, you're going to run into problems like this. And this is good because I do want to run into problems so that I can figure this out now. So in the future, I won't run into these problems, right? That's why we have such a high win rate here, because I'm always testing stuff. I'm making sure things work properly. If we run into issues, then I go and I change stuff up. That's why this is unfinished. And I was telling you guys, if you guys want to take it, you guys can. If not, you know, hold off. But yeah, it's so stupid. You can see how price is coming back up right here. This is why I was saying that we needed a wider net to catch the pullback if it was to happen, because it just moves too fast. But it's okay. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch it. I just saw my screen right now where it turned, you know, it changes colors when it gets close to your TP or stop loss. And I wasn't able to move my stop loss a little lower. If I moved it lower, I would have been completely fine. But unfortunately, I didn't. And then it triggered my stop loss before it swung back up right here. So that's my mistake, but it's all good. Mistakes happen. Let's see if there's anything else right here. Other than that, I think I might be done for the day. I just threw out, man, I can't believe I threw out like half of my profits off this stupid trade right here. And it was only because I didn't move my stop loss a little lower. If I moved it slightly below, I would have still been in the trade. We entered right here. Yeah. They're not EMA lens, Jay. Jay's asking what these are. These are the K2 pivots. It's the K2 pivots indicator. So let's see. I think this might be it because it's 7:42 right now. This is I'm usually off by 8. So in this case right here, I might be calling it a day. If we don't get an entry from now until like 7:50, then I'm probably just gonna call it a day. I already took that stupid L right there. So, and you guys know how I hate losing trades. Like I absolutely hate losing trades, especially if it's something like this where I could have moved my stop loss a little lower and then it would have just came right back up. I just didn't have time to move it. So if I don't see anything coming up anytime soon, which should be over here, price would need to close above here now. So this high has already been used. Take this off. Price would need to close above here in order for me to take that buy there. Yeah, man, and I'm sure it's going to shoot right back up. As much as I'm tempted to just hop right back in right here, I'm not going to do it because that's going to be revenge trading, right? A lot of people have problems with revenge trading. Whenever you have a loss like this, I always recommend that you guys just step away from the computer. And that's basically what I'm going to do right now once I'm done answering the rest of the questions here. And what a costly mistake. It's okay. All right, so let me scroll over here real quick and I'll see what other questions we have over here. So let me scroll down a little bit. Charlie's asking, how long does the news take? I mean, it just depends. If it's a news event where they're just releasing information like this over here, like natural gas, right? If they're just releasing data, Charlie, like right here, natural gas, if they're just releasing that or unemployment claims, the news happens like right away. If it's something where somebody's actually speaking, like, you know, up here, the Fed member Quarles was speaking. He speaks for me like maybe, you know, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. It just depends on how much he wants to speak or what he needs to talk about. So it just really depends on like when the event happens. And like C-Suk said here, sometimes you're not going to see a movement like when the actual news event happens, but you'll see that movement happen like an hour or 2 hours later. Sometimes it has a late effect in the market. So another thing to, you know, also keep in mind. See if there's anything else right here. Oh, damn. I totally missed this too. So Patricia already warned me as well. She said, Shawn, be careful. News approved debit structure bill right now. So that's probably what caused price to come down right here. Because let's see. Yeah, Patricia said that around 7:30. So around 7:30 right here, price came up and then it came right back down. So Patricia just confirmed that the approved debit structure bill just got passed or something like that. So unfortunately, I wasn't looking at the chat. So we could have technically avoided the trade here if I was looking at the chat, but it's all right. It is what it is. Let's see. So Randall got it. C-Suk said movement will get wacky a little bit, and then we'll get a good understanding of the direction so we can keep trading and making profits. Yeah, I totally missed that. So that was my bad, guys. I missed in the Zoom chat over here. Patricia warned us about the news coming up, and C-Suk as well. Unfortunately, we did enter that. Well, I entered the trade. I don't know if any of you guys did, but I did. I entered it right here at 7:32. They warned us at 7:30, so I could have easily avoided this, but it's all right. Let's see. Anything else here? Janae's asking, what are the K2 pivots? Hey, Janae, have you been, because I know you've been K2 for like a while now. You've been K2 for like well over a couple of months. The K2 pivots are these two lines. They've been here for like, you know, the past couple of years now. So I'm not sure if like you weren't paying attention to what these lines were, but there are these two lines right here. Sorry, I'm not trying to sound like mean or anything, but I'm just like trying to wonder, because like every time like so if someone's been in K2 for a while and they didn't realize that these were K2 pivots this entire time, I'm just kind of curious like what you thought these were here. Because this strategy is the same strategy we've been applying every single day for like the past couple of years. So yeah, answered your question. These are the K2 pivots, but follow up to that is like, I'm curious, what did you think these were this whole time? Because I just want to make sure no one's confused, right? All these indicators here are the K2 indicators, the K2 momentum, K2 pivots, K2 sessions, K2 high-low, K2 trend meter. All these are K2 indicators. So I just want to make sure there's no confusion, because I don't want people to think that these are something else, because I don't use any other tools. The only tools I use are the K2 tools. Yeah, let's see, anything else right here? All right, let's see. The other question here was the David said, do you only trade the immediate high low pivots, ignore the untested ones? Yeah, I only do the most recent one, David. If the other ones have already been tested, then I just skip over that one. That's just not part of the it's not part of the analysis, because you're only looking for the most previous one. Because like, for example, here, if this is the most recent one, then this one over here has already been broken, right? Because price closed above it. So this becomes irrelevant at that point. You're just looking at the most recent one. Other than that, Let's see. I think that's it. Charlie's still in the trade right now too. So Charlie's still in the buyer that we took earlier, but it's looking good. It's swinging right back up. What I would recommend, Charlie, is if you don't see another entry come up soon, like for example, if this doesn't come up to this point right here, I would probably just move your stop loss and profit or pull out. I had the opportunity to pull out of this trade earlier because it was up, but like I mentioned, the spread didn't pull me out. So like, let me see. Yeah, so as you guys can see right here, it technically hit the TP for 100 pips, but the problem was the spread was too wide, so it wasn't able to trigger my TP, and then I got caught as it swung back down right here. So that's why I changed my price, but I changed it too late. By the time I changed my price, it was already down here, and unfortunately, it kicked me out before I could move my stop loss. Yeah, I mean, this is looking good right here. Looking good for the most part. It's still pushing up higher and higher. As it's continuing on. Hey Mitchell, how's it going? I haven't seen you here in a while. I don't know if you took a break from trading. But all right, so it's 7:48 right now, guys. If you guys have any more questions, go ahead and put your questions in the chat so I can answer your questions for you. I'm not going to trade anymore because I did have that stupid loss right there. That was an accident. Well, I wouldn't say it's an accident, but I didn't move fast enough to move my stop loss lower to remain in the position. So whenever I have a loss, I usually just call it a day. I rarely lose. You guys have seen I haven't lost in a while now. The only time we lost was, I think, a couple of days ago for the breakout, but that was because price got manipulated and spiked price to the downside before going right back up to our TP. So that was the only time we had I had an actual loss. Another time was an actual loss, but this could have been prevented if I was listening to the chat here with Patricia and C. Stuke's advice. Other than that, let's see. New Levels has more profits here as well. So New Levels has a profit of 519 for the day. Nice work, New Levels. And Roland over here as well, up 659. So nice work, Roland. Other than that, I think that's it for now. So if you guys do have questions, drop your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I'll be logging off soon. Shaw's asking what currencies are good for these indicators. Is anyone even trading currency? I mean, it works for all the currencies. Did you download the watch list, Shaw? Because the watch list has all of the it has all the pairs that we trade. So these are all the ones that I traded on. If you want to download it, it's on the website. These are all have been tested. So all these have a high win rate using the strategies, like pretty much all the strategies here. So that's if you want to go see, I mean, there's a big list here. I mean, if you want to take a screenshot of this, you can, but you can just go on the website and download it on there. It'll have the K2 watch list on there. One more question here from, I hope this pushes up. Like I really hope this pushes up and it hits everyone's TP. Even though I ate the loss on there, I hope whoever's still in the position, it hits yours. Like Charlie, I think you're still in the trade right now. So in order for it to hit your TP, it just needs to hit this line right here. If it hits this line, you're good. You're going to hit your TP. Yeah, I hate when that happens. Oh yeah, Miriam. So Miriam's asking, hey, Shawn, you said you'd help me understand how to start my FTMO. So what are your questions again specifically? I know you had questions with the requirements, Miriam. So let me pull up FTMO real quick. So I'll go over the requirements. I don't know if you have any specific questions to FTMO because there's you're asking like how to start it. I mean, to start it, you just take trades on it. That's how you'll start it. But I know you have questions about the requirements. If you have anything specific, I know you can ask me and I can go over it. But here, let me just go over the requirements here. So if you guys are familiar with FTMO, Miriam just started her FTMO, right? So she, right here, your trading period is going to be, you have to do a challenge account. So you don't understand the metrics. So well, what do you not understand about the metrics? I'm trying to, because I want to pinpoint where your confusion is, because the metric is pretty straightforward. It tells you how many days you've traded because you have a minimum of 10 days to trade. This is your first option on the metrics. You have to trade for 10 days. If you don't trade for 10 days, you're not going to pass the requirement. You just have to trade at least one trade for 10 days. It doesn't have to be straight, but it has to be 10 days within the 30-day trading period. you log into your FTMO. You're asking where do you find it? Wait, so could you, let me go back to your email. Sorry, Miriam. Because you said you signed up for FTMO, right? If you signed up and started using it, then I'm kind of confused like how you didn't see it. Because when you log into your FTMO, there's a button there that says metrics. So like when you log in, I'm not going to click my client area because I've seen a lot of people, whenever I go to, like, I've seen other people who try to steal account information going to the client area. So I'm not going to do that, for the protection of my own account. But yeah, if you go to client area and then on your, like in the middle page, it'll have your challenge, and then it'll have a big button that says metrics. On the demo account, it still has metrics there. So it doesn't make any difference off that. So when you log in, it'll say your metrics there. Try to do that, Miriam, and then you can let me know if you found it. Or let me see, I'm going to see if I could pull it up on mine without having to show my account information. No, I'm not going to do it. It literally has my login number right there. Yeah, so I'm not going to show my login info, Miriam, but literally when you log in, it says it's a big button that says metrics, METRIX. It's really hard to miss. It's like literally there's like one bar there and there's two options. It's credentials, metrics, and if you're funded or whatever, it'll have another button next to it. Or if you're in a challenge, it'll say like mentor or something like that. But there's literally only 3 buttons, so it's like almost impossible to miss if you're looking where your account is. Yeah, I think you should go on the website and actually play around with it. Or yeah, because the thing is, I'm not FTMO, right? So like how Sisuk said over here, there is a button here. So when you go onto the FTMO website, there's a bubble button. Miriam, this is probably where you should actually ask for help, not me, because I'm not FTMO, obviously. Click on this button right here, live chat, and they'll actually tell you where everything is, because they can show you screenshots without me having to share my account information and stuff like that. Just click on this button right here, and then FTMO will help you. Because the thing is, they'll probably be able to just show you things a lot easier, because you should probably ask directly to the source. That'll be better for you. So sorry I couldn't help you as much as I wanted to, Miriam, but I just, I don't want to risk giving my account information here and then someone trying to, because I've seen, like, dude, it's crazy how scammers work now. Like I've seen these scammers, they like, when someone shows their account information, they'll go in there and then they'll use that little bubble, and then they'll be like, oh, I have issues with my account. Can I get my credentials or whatever? And sometimes like whoever is helping you on FTMO side, they might give it to you. And in that case, your account's gonna be screwed. So just an FYI, if I would never recommend anyone showing. That's why I don't even show my MC4 on here anymore, because there's so many, the scammers are so like, they're figuring out so many different ways to scam people, and it's crazy. Even in K2, you guys have seen K2. There's a scammer that keeps trying to impersonate me, and he comes back like every couple of weeks, like this guy right here, right? He just copies my picture, copies my name, but the name's not even the same. My name here says Shawn K2, I will never message you, but people still think it's me, even though my name here says I'll never message you, right? So here's my where's my name at? See if I can find it here. Okay, so my name is Shawn K2. I will never message you first, right? But people get messaged by this fake account that says Shawn K2. It doesn't have the I will never message you after. And it says, hey, Ken, Shawn here. I'm offering only members of K2. And the thing is, his English is bad, right? My English is not bad. So you guys got to keep in mind that this guy is like, his English is not good. So this is definitely not me, because I don't talk like this guy. He offers copier service. I do no copier service. He's offering to pass FTMOs. I don't pass people's FTMOs. So guys, there's like a bunch of red flags there. So just be careful, right? And it's funny because someone here actually took a screenshot of him before. Let me see. And he has a different account too. His account's like JStar or something. This is his account, JStar. He's retarded. He forgot to change his name to my name, and his name was JStar. That's his name there. And someone actually got a picture of him. Over here as well. I don't know where it is, but yes, he accidentally FaceTimed one of the members here, and they actually got a picture of his face. Oh, there he goes, right there. So they accidentally FaceTimed him because they were like, "Oh, I want to see you to make sure you're Shawn," and then he like FaceTimed him right there, Shawn K2, and he has like a similar thing, and they called him right there, and that's what he looks like. So guys, be careful. That's not me. Obviously, I don't look like that. Other than that, guys, okay, so other than that, I think I'm done for the day. Let me see if I missed any other questions here. Donnie said they got a master's degree in at Scammer University. Exactly. So guys, be careful. Don't get scammed. Also, I think that's it for now. Let me see if there's anything else that I missed. Yeah, no, I think that's it. All right, guys. So that's it for our session today. Hopefully you guys made some profit off these trades that we took here. Price is still now just going sideways at this point. Volatility died down a bit. So I would just be careful. If you guys are still in this position, like you, Charlie, I'd probably move close out and profit whenever you can. I do think it's going to come back up because the fundamentals here are still very bullish. It's just, it came down for that small little pullback for whatever reason, but it's all good. Not a huge deal. But yeah, so that's it, guys. Other than that, guys, enjoy the rest of your morning. If you guys want to continue to trade, be careful because the market's probably going to come back down. It's going to have to correct back down at some point. But I do still think it's going to come up for like the next couple hours or so. So I'm going to call it a day. But for you guys, enjoy the rest of your morning, and I'll see you guys here tomorrow for the next live session as we wrap up the trading week. So see you guys then. And if you guys do have questions, feel free to reach